I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend Larry Lane.
I just want to say thanks to the mayor and the trustees for letting us come and pray. It's a real privilege, and we appreciate that. So let's bow together. Our Heavenly Father, we bow this evening, and we thank you for the privilege of living in this great country, despite all of its issues and flaws. We thank you for the privilege of living here in Walton. And tonight we just acknowledge that you are the one that provides every good and perfect gift. We ask for your favor tonight upon the leadership of our village, upon the mayor, upon the trustees, the staff, those who are volunteers, for the community participants here tonight. We pray for favor upon our businesses, that you'd help them to prosper and bring new ones into our area. We pray for favor upon our police department, that you'd protect them and help them, give them strength. Lord, we pray for favor upon our school system as they educate our children. We pray for favor upon the families of our community who desperately need the rescue and the help that only you can give. So we commit this board meeting, this meeting tonight to you, and we pray you'll impart wisdom and guidance and blessing that only you can give to prosper us as a community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys, you can slide out a little bit. Oh, sure. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. It was a beautiful day, finally. All right, first thing we're gonna go is do the public hearing on Burton Street parking. So Jody, you would need to open? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Walton, Delaware County, New York, at the Village Hall, 21 North Street, on the second day of June at 6 p.m. to hear public opinion regarding local law 2014, number 4, to amend Chapter 49, Section 10B, to add no parking on the north side of Burton Street.
Okay. Need any comments, right?
Yep.
Does anyone here wish to address for 5 minutes?
This is what it is all about.
We know what it's all about.
Because I have a picture.
You want to give it here?
Some take that into consideration.
I dropped by and I saw exactly what you're talking about, the hills and everything.
Would anyone like to say anything about it before we do any voting? Does anyone have any comment they'd like to have from Burton about it? Don't worry, we don't bite. You can jump up and say something if you want. If you don't, then, okay. We need to close the public hearing, but, I mean, we need to close on this.
I move we close public hearing.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Well, the thing is that the motion is to have no parking on that one side of the street. Now, do we have a motion for that?
I'll move that we, as read.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done.
Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you.
you're welcome to stay, or if you don't, you can go to it if you want. Done. The next thing would be, the motion, I'm all good with that, right? Okay. Next thing is the public hearing on the water and sewer rates.
So we'll need to open that.
Now we need a motion to open that one.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Notice is hereby giving that a public hearing will be held by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Walton, Delaware County, New York, at the Village Hall, 21 North Street, on the second day of June 2014, to hear public opinion regarding local law number, I think the other one was supposed to be 3 and 5, to amend the water and sewer rates.
Does anyone have any questions about that? You want to put in what we're doing?
Any questions?
No? You want to need a motion on the proposal?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Just need a vote, then need a motion then.
Make a motion that we adopt the rates as presented.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Just so you know generally what we're talking about. I mean, maybe some have read, some haven't. We're lowering the sewer rate a little bit. We're lowering the capital charge, that charge you would see on the top of your bill, because our capital project is done, and whatever money we don't need for that capital project, we've dropped it. But the water rates will be up a little bit. But the difference being, you can adjust your water rate. How much water you use, so you can save it that way. Where the capital rate, it was just automatically every month to be on your bill. So that's basically what we did.
Going from what to what? Going from 55 to what?
55, 57 to 41.
41. You know, it's $15 or $16, yeah. That 41 will be there for a while because that's what we're paying off the project with. And that's 35 years, I think 36 years, it's a long time. That's why we're trying to do projects now, smaller projects, so that we can pay cash for them. Because when you do it over a long period of time with the interest and everything, you're almost doubling what you're paying for, you know. So that's why last couple of years, we've been trying to do smaller projects. Okay, we'll go to item number 3, department heads. Roger, you first.
Hi, Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Everybody received the monthly report, I hope.
Yes. I have a question. What's the AL bathroom? Austin Lincoln, when I said it out loud, I
Yes,
knew
there you go.
myself.
The floor ended up busting right
Okay.
out of it, and we had to jackhammer quite a bit of it and replace it. Not really much to talk about on the report unless somebody has see something that sparks
Clean the
interest.
old water and sewer dig sites.
Throughout the winter, all the water repairs and the sewer repairs.
Okay.
You know, if you got to put down a list, and if you don't go take care of them, then you forget about them, and then you get that dreaded phone call. So,
Got it.
Okay. We should be getting our vacuum truck this year, this Friday, right? Or did you speak to
well,
him?
Sometime this week.
I spoke to him, and it all depends on the transfer of
Funds?
funding. Yep.
I'm ready. It's on the list.
Okay. So they're waiting for that, and then it's here.
We still have that little tiny disease, the funds are low.
Believe me, I live that every
But we're
day.
getting a little bit better.
Every day it's like that. Other than that, I had nothing to report.
Okay. Any questions for Roger other than that?
Nope.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, Roger.
Sure, thanks for showing up.
You seem so anxious.
Okay, Bill Brown, Delaware Engineering.
Evening, everybody.
Hi,
Good evening.
Yep, thank you. Hopefully everybody got a copy of our spiel for tonight. Couple things to run through. Over at the wastewater treatment plant, operation-wise, we seem to be all right. We had about 7,900 gallons of septic delivered last month. No compliance issues and no big equipment expenses. One thing too, that we did complete or work on this past month is the Seabud building HVAC repairs. That was a project funded by the city to install ventilation equipment in the building to assist with the damp, corrosive environment due to the treatment process. So put some fans and different equipment in. That work was actually just completed this past week. So that was, again, a project funded by the city to help mitigate against the corrosion that's kind of rotting a lot of, causing rust and whatnot on some of the steel framing and whatnot. So parts and pieces are in. We did have one small change order for $1,200 that we are going to ask for approval for. There was two old fans that we were just gonna abandon in place. The contractor proposed to take those out and seal up the roof openings. And then in addition to that, there was an actuator, a mechanical piece of equipment that opens and closes a louver that's located within a duct. And to take that out, you basically have to take the whole louver off the end of the duct. They came up with a way to create an access point within that duct, a panel, and then an enclosure within it to access that piece of mechanical equipment. Asked us for $400 to do it for an extra day's worth of work. So we are asking for approval for that change order, which is for those 3 items, total $1,200. Would be added to the contract amount of the, I think we started at $79,680, and this will bump it up to $80,880.
Make a motion, we approve that change order.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The next item, everything is pretty much wrapped up over there. We are asking the village approve or authorize substantial completion for the project, which is just a procedural item to close everything out.
Make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
The last item, probably the biggest of the 3, is payment to S&H Mechanical, the contractor that did the work. The final amount, this will be the only pay rec, is $80,880 for the work they did over there, and that'll pay everything under this budget year, which ran out May 31st or June 1st. And we had money budgeted in the sewer budget for this project. So asking for payment to S&H in that amount, $80,880.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's pretty much it on the wastewater treatment plant. The next item, Terrace Avenue water line, was the project we did last year. They were actually over there today to put some topsoil and seed mulch down. So I was going to do a drive-by tonight just to see how that went, but I think we're pretty much wrapped up there. I think we had held $2,000 on their contract last year until they came back and did the touch-up stuff. So, we'll probably look to close that out next month. The last item on our agenda is the Quarry and Platt Street water main replacement. We had a bid opening this past Thursday, 5/29. We had 8 bids that were received. They range from $139,370 to a high bid of $264,000. We had the low bid provided by Dave Stanton, a local contractor. In reviewing the bid, there was a number of informalities with the paperwork that are listed there. We went and reviewed the second bid provided by Little Dave Excavating of Franklin. Again, a number of informalities with the paperwork. And I know both gentlemen are here tonight. They did bring additional paperwork. I had spoken to both of them Friday, indicating the paperwork issues, and they did bring follow-up. There were some bond forms and whatnot that we had asked for as part of the bid. They followed up with some of that paperwork. The other item with the paperwork is a statement of qualifications that's part of the bid proposal. So we felt that was somewhat lacking in the submission, and that was again one of the reasons we are essentially recommended those 2 bids not be accepted. We are going to recommend that the third bid, which is from Goff Construction in Prattsville, Greene County, out just past Stanford area. They provided a bid of $149,900. No informalities on their paperwork, their bid. They've done multiple projects of this type. I personally have not worked with them, but our Albany office has on different projects, Wyndham, Hunter, that area.
I think for the public to know, why did you not recommend them for this particular job, other than the paperwork?
And from a qualification standpoint, just an experience in putting and completing this type of project and installing ductile iron pipe water mains, that was something we would have liked to seen documented in the bids.
We'll give you a chance to talk.
Even, pardon?
No, Dave put his hand out, I said, I'm gonna give you a
Oh,
chance to talk. One minute.
No, that day, you can go.
No, I'm Dave, I'm sorry.
Too many days.
Yeah. Just one
But
second.
even without the inexperience issue, and I don't mean to downplay technicalities at all, but we almost can't accept the first two bids, can we? If a bid document package is a bid document package.
Right. Everybody's required to submit a sealed bid. We had the opening at 2 o'clock on Thursday. That's your bid. That's what's, that's what your bid is based on, is that packet that you provide at that time. That's what we do our evaluation on, what's in that packet. That's how we come up with our recommendation. There's a lot of bits and pieces to it. There's multiple forms, and everyone has a reason that it's in there. There's New York State bidding laws, that you guys and us on your behalf have to adhere to. That everything's got to be open. Anybody can bid on it. We advertise in the paper, that it's open, and that there's multiple requirements in the book that dictate what has to go into that bid. There's bonding requirements, insurance requirements, there's statements of qualifications, all the bid pricing that you provide. There's also bid alternate pricing if there's things that may come up as part of the project. We ask for pricing for rock removal and sanitary sewer laterals. We don't have any in the base bid. We don't anticipate them, but, we're working on Quarry Street, there's a chance we could run into some rock, so we ask for, pricing for that. So, there's a multitude of things that get incorporated into that bid. And everybody has to put it together and submit it by 2 o'clock on Thursday in this game. So
Certainly, I would think that we would prefer to deal with a local company. That would be the
Right.
preference.
Right.
But if the paperwork is incomplete and we open that door again, then don't we really have to give everybody else a second bite at the apple?
Yeah. You don't have to, but
That's why we have
it's-
deadlines, right?
Right.
When is the
Yeah.
deadline, not a deadline?
And my experience is that once you do that, you really, the other companies that did make their bids and fully on time and complete, now that they go back, they could have maybe claimed they could have done a more thorough job, except they fought to make the deadline. So
But you had
we
a-
leave ourselves vulnerable for that as well.
Sure. I don't know what you call a training session, but you had a session where people.
We have a pre-bid meeting that we try to go through the requirements of the projects. We hold up the forms, and these are, what you have to fill out, go through the scope of the project. The mayor is here, Roger is here, most of the contractors were here. Did a site visit to pipe goes from A to B, here's the things you gotta look out for, that type of thing. So that was, something that was open as well, or, completed as well.
And there's no ambiguity as to when the deadline was, when the bids.
No, it was advertised in the paper, we sent out, it was in the book 2 or 3 different places. We, noted it again at the meeting, bids are due at 2 o'clock here at Village Hall, so.
Were the 2 lower bids, were the representatives at the meeting?
Yes.
We'll let Dave speak now.
I guess, where do I want to start? I've done jobs a lot bigger than this one. You're laying water lines in the ground. Come on. You got notary, where I needed to have a notary on the bid. And he made a comment to me on Friday that I wasn't more or less qualified for the job.
Well, let me ask you this, have you put in water lines before, someplace?
I have been around just with Clark companies all my life. For 30-something years, Clark companies putting water lines in stadiums. I was a truck driver, but I did not sit in the truck. But I've been doing excavating for 30-some years.
I know you have been, I didn't ask you, I was
Well,
asking you, I was asking where you've done it.
Theoretically, I have options there. I can get Volano to hook up my water lines. I'm a contractor. that is responsible and Vendex approved through New York City for jobs over $1 million, let alone 139,000. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me to have paperwork after paperwork after paperwork, okay? I took and got the stuff notarized. My wife does all the paperwork because I'm out there in the field. I actually own a dairy farm. Of course, you all know that anyway, but, and I got guys that were all excited about getting, state rate. You guys know that it's $74 an hour that my employee would have got for operating a machine that's gonna spend his money here in this village. And I also have another laborer who's gonna get $54 an hour. You know, that you're throwing this up to somebody up in Gilboa that ain't gonna spend a nickel here. And it's just, to me, it just isn't right.
It isn't our choice, Dave.
He accepted a check from us before for the bond, and they called me in, and we did all this stuff. I mean, my insurance company's telling me that you don't put a performance bond up until you get awarded the bid. I mean, that's why I give a check, because there's so much paperwork, and I was trying to, lighten her paperwork load a little. I mean, but as far as qualifications, come on, you got curb stops, you got K-pipe, the tool itself is $2,900 to drill and do this steel 8-inch and a 6-inch. I mean, I deal with this stuff all the time. All these kind of subcontractors. And through the state labor board. I mean, I feel like my bid was spell checked
No, Dave, don't do that. Don't say that they picked you out and picked on you, because I was sitting at the meeting, when I think your wife was there, and I remember exactly what Bill said. He said, all the forms will be made out, and he specified by saying, all the Ts will be dotted, and all the Is will be dotted, and all the Ts will be crossed. So I know he said that. I heard him say it, so he's not making it up. And he said all the paperwork has to be done. So that much I know.
Well, Ed, do we really want to do this to cost the taxpayers $10,000 more?
It's not us wanting to charge the taxpayers more. It's us abiding by what the rules and regulations are of the bidding. If the state bidding says that the form should be done and included on the time and when it's supposed to be, then it's not us making the rules, it's the state making the rules. The bidding process says that you had to be done by 2 o'clock on Friday, all the forms had to be made out, and everything was signed, and everything was done. That's not something we made up. This is a state rule or law, whatever you want to call it, how the bidding goes. Because technically, if we don't adhere to that, then we can say that everyone else can come back and give us new lines and papers and bids, and because they don't have to have it done either. You know what I mean? I'm just.
But you say to them, well, if you want to do the job because for what he bid, then you can do it.
Right, that's the I and cross the T, that didn't affect the price, did it?
No.
Wait. If all the bidders knew going in that every page had to be completely filled out, and here are the documents held up in front of all the bidders, potential bidders, and you went ahead and didn't complete all the paperwork, what's the issue?
Well,
The issue is $10,000.
Well, then you should have filled out the paperwork.
Well, the paperwork is the bonding part, okay? When you submit a check for a bond, then you have a paper in there that says that you have to fill out, this is what Bill told me, because I don't do the paperwork.
Who's Bill?
Bill.
This bill.
This bill.
Okay, but that you gotta fill out this paper saying that you're gonna provide them with a performance bond and a payment bond. My insurance company's telling me that I have to get awarded the bid and then I can get that.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you guys, okay, we're hiring these engineering companies, and quite frankly, a lot of places are not using engineering companies anymore because of this fact. I mean, I'm serious in that note. I mean, it's coming down to that. I mean, if it's gonna cost us more money.
Bill, the other bidders provided those bonds, right?
Correct. The bidder that we're recommending you award to provided, the form of surety guarantee, which was one of the lacking documents.
See, what do we tell the other bidders if we award it to someone that didn't complete the paperwork, didn't complete the packet, the required packet? What do we tell them? That, well, you needed to and these guys didn't need to?
Well, you got several papers in there that had to have been notarized. If that is such an issue, okay, an surety bond should have been notarized. If an engineering company is gonna have you notarize your bid price.
But
okay,
if you had.
To cover the village.
If you had an argument with the paperwork, you should have made that argument prior.
I'm making it now with you because you're bringing this question to me.
Okay.
Because this is what I'm telling you, okay, an engineering company, if they're gonna do this, then make the surety bond notary. Make me get a notarized statement from them for that purpose, so that we can go with the lowest price.
But we can't get into the specifics of one form versus another.
Well,
I mean,
that's exactly what I'm saying about, okay.
Some are notarized and some aren't, some of the forms.
You
Some are just signed.
know, and I know, that, and Bill knows, that, I don't know. I guess you guys are gonna win this one, and I'm not.
Well, it's not a matter of winning.
Yes,
It's a
it
matter.
is.
Well,
Yes, it is.
you can look at it that way, but it's a
Well,
matter of an incomplete bid
When you put this
document.
much effort and time into bidding a job and have it thrown out because of technicalities, when you have guys that are working for you right in your area, I mean, they could have called me he could have called me, I'd have given him my insurance company's number.
It wasn't his place to call you.
You're right.
Is it the one that you said you like from Albany, is that one that you've been working with?
Well,
Is that why
thanks,
you
I'm
recommended
glad.
them?
I've never dealt with them before. Our
Well, your
Alden,
company has,
yes.
so that's why you're recommending them?
No, there's a third one on the list. We're not getting into a match here where we're gonna go back and forth and argue with each other. They were the third one. It could have been Joe Blow from Oshkosh, the third one. Whoever the next guy was,
It just happened to be that.
they happened to be that guy.
Can we go over my technicalities that you say and tell me what we didn't have in there, just so that I know?
We can.
Is that something we can
Well,
go
yes,
offline?
can we do that
We can do this
outside?
later. You can do it later. He's not gonna do it right this moment. We got a lot of other stuff to do
folks here
on.
in one-
Yes.
I'm Little Dave Excavating.
Yeah.
Did I supply a bid bond with my
Yep.
packet?
Yep.
So what is the surety guarantee that I need besides the bid bond?
There's another form, the bid bond is part of the equation. It's one of the forms that are in the gray packet, that we provide as part of the bid document for you guys to fill out. The form of surety guarantee is a form that states that you as a contractor, or any contractor, you fill that out along with your insurance company, and then sign it at the bottom. It's not one of the notarized form, it's just a signed form that states and guarantees that you or any contractor is going to provide performance and payment bonds if awarded the bid. You don't provide the bonds now, you provide them once you're awarded the bid.
Would my insurance company give me a bid bond, not expecting to do a performance and payment bond?
They could,
Because they're
I'm not,
just doing a bid bond just because they have nothing better to do?
it's something you pay to get, that I can go get a bid, anybody can go get a bid bond, and it's something a service you
Have
pay
you tried to
for.
get a bid bond?
I have not.
Maybe you should try one before you say that anybody can go get one.
It's,
You gotta have equity, you gotta have,
I've been
I
3 years
understand that.
trying to get one.
it's one of many requirements that were in the bid.
But everybody got the same packet. It wasn't that you guys got a special packet that no one else did.
No, I'm
But-
not saying that, sir. I'm
No.
saying I supplied a bid bond with my bid.
Okay.
My insurance company is not gonna write me a bid bond without expectations of me being the low bidder and getting the performance and payment bond. That's where insurance companies make their money. They don't make it on the bid bond.
Okay.
So they want the job as much as I do. And the other thing is that Volano Brothers is my pipe supplier on this job. And Volano Brothers have more pipe in the ground in New York State than Goff has even seen, I'm sure of.
They supply the pipe, but they don't put it in the ground.
They are helping me put this together.
But you see, you know, you're gonna get some help over here, and we didn't fill the
No,
packet
sir,
out.
I'm
and
not,
it
no,
just-
sir,
you know,
I'm not getting help. They are supplying, I'm paying them very good money for them to come down and do this with me, to do this job.
It seems loose to me, and then, but we're back to square one, because the bid documents weren't complete anyway. I mean, whether you were the lowest bidder or the highest bidder, if the bid document wasn't complete, and, I mean, it's not complete.
I think we would all really prefer to go local. That's, we're Walton, we take care of Waltonians, that's what we've always done. But from the board standpoint, and I'll speak for myself, I'd be very concerned of the other bidders if we were to open it back up and take additional information after the bid was closed. Those other bidders would come back against the village claiming that we were
Prejudicial.
prejudiced, thank you,
For the
prejudicial.
next time we have a bid document for some other project.
So my point is that by me giving a bid bond, I'm of course gonna get the rest of it. That's, maybe you folks missed that part of it when I was explaining it.
The rest of what? I don't-
To get the bid bond, I got a bid bond for this job. They looked at everything. They said, okay, we're gonna give you this bid bond so you can bid on this job. They're not just gonna give me a bid bond without the expectations of getting the performance and payment bond, because that is where the insurance companies make their money.
Right.
Right.
So more or less, this other paper should have been covered by my bid bond. It wasn't a personal check, it was a bid bond. And I dropped a paper off about 20 minutes to 6 before we got started. Not sure if you had a chance to read it. But
Yeah. Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Well,
I'll make a motion that we go with the off, I mean, I understand everything that's been said, but I think our hands are tied just from the bid document standpoint.
is there a second on that
I will
motion?
second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain because I understand the rules, but my heart goes with local companies, so I don't feel that I'm not going to vote either way.
So you're gonna have to.
Thanks. It's, see, I really have a concern about doing it according to the rules and regulations of what they set it up for the thing. As much as I want to have the local guys do it, I have to go with these guys. So, I mean, I have to do the local, I have to do what the law states. I'm kind of like bonded to do that. I have to do that. I'm sorry.
Ed, can you show me the law? Can I just get a copy of the law, the state law for that from you guys?
You have,
Yeah, it's New York State municipal bidding law
Yeah.
that dictates
He'll get it
open and
for
fair.
okay.
Could I ask what was missing in mine?
The form of surety guarantee and the completion of the statement of qualifications were the two forms that were lacking in the bid.
With the bid bond?
Yes, the bid one was provided.
Either one of them affected?
Okay, anything else?
That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Brian?
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, Chief.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Okay, I really don't have a lot for you this evening. I got my monthly report. Is there any questions, concerns?
What's a CPCS 7?
Because my typing skills aren't bad, that's criminal possession of controlled substance.
Ah,
Abbreviated.
yeah. Sorry.
My paper wasn't wide enough.
The question I have is, how is our newest employee?
He is working out very well. He's gotten streamlined in this a little bit more every day. So it's
Good.
things are flying through the
Good.
office a little bit quicker.
And he's available when you need him?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yes, I've made up a June schedule for him, and I've worked with him, so, helps out either way with his other jobs and stuff, but so far he's been able to work with me most days. I've had him work some evenings, so the guys can get used to him not being around.
Oh, good,
So,
good.
Good idea.
Very good.
So they know him.
yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but
That's
to this
good
point,
thinking.
he is working out very well.
Great.
Does he end up with a set schedule, Brian, or are you gonna leave it flexible?
At this point, I'm a schedule as I need him, so,
Well, it's fine, it was a question, not a
yeah.
comment.
No.
Great.
Folks, we're talking about the part-time clerk that Brian now has.
Anything else? No? Okay.
Thanks, Chief.
Steve?
Good evening.
Hi, Steve.
Everybody has my report?
Yes, thank you.
Questions on my report?
I see the construction equipment over at the First Baptist Church.
Yes, construction has started. They should be pouring foundation starting tomorrow, so
Nice.
it's been a while to get in under motion, but yeah, you should see some pretty good progress there. The type of construction that it is, once they get the foundation in, you'll see building go up, I think, pretty quickly. So the shell will be there pretty quickly,
Good.
so.
20 grass violations, was just people not mowing their lawn?
Correct, yes. Yeah.
People not, places where people don't live?
Kind of half and half. Some of them, I'd say probably about a third of those, when they responded to the letters, got their grass mowed. So there's, the rest of them that I sent actually awarded the bids today. So they'll be mowed in the next couple of days.
Oh.
And then I'll be out, there's some that I see I didn't get in the first round, so sometime in the next 2 days I'll be out getting another list together, so we'll try to stay on top of that and keep these, most of them, like I said, a good chunk of them are empty properties, and we'll just try to stay on top of them, keep them looking halfway decent.
What's the difference between construction framing and construction alteration?
That alteration in that case is new porch roof, stripping it off, replacing plywood. The construction framing, basically what it says in that case, they're essentially framing up, enclosing a porch,
Oh,
so,
okay, thank you.
yep.
Any other questions for Steve?
Can I buy a computer yet?
In a couple of minutes.
In a couple of minutes?
A little bit.
I really need one. Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. John wants to say something.
Yep.
John Moffett.
Come on down.
I'm gonna have to start putting them on.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Hi,
John,
how's everybody doing?
Oh,
good.
just Ducky.
Just Ducky? The only item I have is the MBT project. We have the two concrete quotes. One for filling in the two 8x8 holes in the old, what used to be a primary clarifier, which is now just basically a leachate receiving tank. And you can see Richard Wakeman gave us a quote of $15,761. Stevens was $18,000. And then to pour the new wall with two penetrations through it, again, Wakeman gave us $20,982, which Stevens at $31,500. A good portion of the equipment is starting to arrive at the plant. We're getting some piping quotes coming in, but The membranes themselves are on site, the blowers are on site, so we're moving ahead with that project.
Good.
Nice.
So, okay, that's pretty much it. That's all I
You
have.
need a motion?
Motion for us to pay?
Yeah, whoever you wanna.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we award the two concrete bids as specified to Richard, both to Richard Wakeman.
Okay.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay,
Thank you, John.
thank you.
Jan.
All right, item number 4, public input.
Before I leave, how many years is it with the Delaware Engineering as a contractor? Like, is that,
Had been our engineering firm for us?
huh?
Had been a firm for us here?
Yeah, is that every so many years put out the bid to get the low engineering?
We have a renewal every year, right? Every year we renew the contract.
Okay, so.
They've been with us for, I don't know, how long you been in? 20-something years.
Yeah, so in order to get that put out for a bid to other engineer companies, what would a person have to do? So make sure the village is getting a good price on engineering.
Anybody can come in and give a bid? I guess, I don't know how it works, I mean,
So sometimes if somebody's there so long, they get too comfortable spending people's money and stuff. I just was wondering how that worked.
Well, after the flood, they dropped their contract price in half in 2006, and they haven't raised it since.
so we've had,
Do you know what the other ones would have been though?
I don't know all of them, no. Some of them we checked, I know were much higher, but I haven't gone to all of them. I can't say everyone, but I have checked for some, yeah, and they were considerably higher. So, but I haven't gone with all of them, no, so I can't say.
Every year then?
Yeah, every year,
Okay,
yes.
thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, item number 4 is public input. Everyone have a chance to say what they want, just give your name, please. I know, Jane, you have something to say, right?
Yeah.
Chomping at the bit, you're
John's very difficult to sit next to.
It's John, he's not that everybody.
How you guys do it, yeah. Anyway, I'm here on behalf of the Walton Theater Preservation, and we're having a historic Gardner Place Festival. Charlie's well aware. Thank you for attending the meetings. But we just wanted to make the village aware. And,
It's on the 14th, right?
yeah, it's in 2 weeks. We do have a little concern about traffic on Gardner Place. I spoke with you, Mayor. I mean, we realize you can't close the street because the post office is open, but we didn't know if there was any compromise we could come to. We'd be willing, you know, in front of the theater, obviously, to block off that section.
Roger, didn't we do that, did you guys do that before? On Gardner Place?
They did part of it, they did a drive lane.
Okay.
Yeah, like just keep it down to one lane. We're just gonna have kids around and
That's what they did.
parents don't always watch
I
it.
don't remember, we were talking about this a while back. I guess you want the whole area, is that correct, all the way around the corner like that?
If we could.
Just, you know,
Up to where the theater, I mean, to the library.
Because then you're gonna keep it running back and forth, so.
So we're gonna have to block off right up until before the post office, and then right after the
Right,
post
yeah,
office,
and
we
that's
put them
fine.
up, so
Okay.
leave the cars to come in.
But that's only for 2 hours, right? The post office closes at noon.
Right, and then it shouldn't be much of an issue at all. There won't be people.
And you're going from what time, when to when?
10 to 2.
10 to
10 to 2, oh,
10 to 2.
sorry, I didn't, hold on, read, 10 to 2.
Now, were you wanting to block off the parking lot here too?
No,
Or-
no, we
No,
want
we
to
don't.
keep everything down on the library lawn as much as possible.
Oh,
We just
okay.
realized that people are going to be going back and forth on the street.
So what do you think, Roger, can we do that? You guys, I mean, I know we can say to do it, but I'm just, you know, I gotta check the DPW, you know.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to sit down and actually put a good plan together. You know, I mean, I really need to know exactly what you're talking about, what areas, what part of the building. I mean, are you just, you're gonna block it just so they get past the theaters, what you're saying?
Right, yeah, just cut it down to one lane, take away the parking right there, just put a barricade and just
So we'd be on Opera
kind of give the
Avenue,
impression of slow down and, yeah.
so coming out of Opera, we have something, and then right down right before the post office, come back, and
Right.
then from the library back out again like
If
that.
that works, is that okay? Okay.
Sounds good.
Chief, that's good, yeah, okay,
Good? Okay.
sounds good.
can you tell us some of the activities that
Oh
are
my
going on?
goodness. A lot of community activity. It's the 100th anniversary of the theater, as you know, so we're
Yeah.
planning a year's worth of events. One of the things we wanted to do was to celebrate the whole Gardner Place. So we incorporated all the historic sites, and everything you see here, the theater has a community band, select chorus. The county fair movie, which was part of the Catskill Mountain Film Festival, will be shown for free. We have a strolling minstrel, kids games, cake walk, watermelon eating. The library's doing a happy birthday cake because it's William B. Ogden's birthday. They're also doing readings. We have sandwiches, kettle corn, a pie auction by New Hope Church, and a scavenger hunt. So
Cool.
there should be lots of things to do and not at huge cost, so it's really family friendly.
Good.
So everybody should be able to come out and it's a lot of organizations. We've got the PTA, the Historical Association, the Episcopal Church is doing the food, so lots of folks helping.
That's good. Sounds very
So,
good.
okay, can I
Yeah.
leave this?
Yeah,
in the village
absolutely.
office, Jody? Thanks.
Absolutely, thank you. Is there anyone here that would like to have? Maureen. Oh, excuse me, who are you again?
I'm Maureen from the Walton Chamber. I would just like to take this opportunity to clear up some confusion by some of our Walton residents and to hopefully make a distinction. There is a big garage sale going on Saturday at the fairgrounds.
Right.
By a private company with fees of $50 and $60. And for some reason or other, I guess some residents who haven't seen the articles that Bob has been kind enough to put in the Walton Reporter, they are under the impression that it's sponsored by the Chamber. So this is the distinction that I would like to make. Chamber has nothing to do with this. We will be having the 17th annual community lawn sales on July 4th weekend, and there are no fees or permits, thanks to the mayor and trustees who waive all of the requirements. And residents enjoy this, but more importantly, it brings people into the community, which is the objective of the chamber.
Okay, yes.
So, and also, June 16th is the first in our summer concert
Concerts?
series at the park.
And who's going to be playing, Maureen, do you know?
That is a rock and roll band called 110 Whitehall.
Yeah, they were playing at the castle this past weekend.
Right.
It was really pretty good.
They were good, 6:30 to 8:30.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Also want to take this moment to thank the Chamber, because the Chamber has got together and agreed to spend $1,000, $1,200 on a flag for the new gazebo when we get it up. It's taken a little bit of time, but we're going to get it there, and there'll be a flag there that they've donated, so I want to thank you very much.
It isn't the flag that was $1,200.
The pole,
It
the
was
pole.
the commercial flagpole.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, anyway. I
You're
appreciate
quite
it.
welcome. It's our pleasure.
Is there anyone else that would like to say anything?
I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to the board for putting the parking on Walton Street.
Well, we hope this helps, and we hope that everybody is pleased with it.
We have problem getting out of the driveway and on the street to navigate, so.
Well, I understand, I mean, we'll correct the problem by putting a sign there. But that doesn't necessarily mean that people aren't gonna park there. If they still park there, then, because you can't have police that are monitoring that all the time, you're gonna have to call up and say, we have parkers. At least the police now, when they come down and respond, will have something they can do because there was a sign and they will enforce it.
Hopefully they will obey.
Hopefully they'll obey it, but I'm just saying, just know in case there is somebody there, you have to let us know. We can't just always there, that's all.
The chief, he said not to worry, he will spend every night for a year. I'm only making it so.
Okay, well, good, I'm glad that that went okay.
He likes chocolate chip.
He doesn't smoke now, so he's gotta be hungry a lot, so donuts and coffee.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, it's our pleasure. Sometimes things work out good and sometimes they don't, you know, we only do the best we can. We try to be fair to everybody. We make what we do for one, we try to do for everyone, so.
Thank you.
Okay, next thing, number 5, the trustee reports. Teresa, you go first.
I really don't have much. The only thing I'll say is
that tomorrow, very early, 4 o'clock, I'm driving to Florida and for 2 weeks.
Oh, good. Yeah, we've had someone
Have a
that
safe trip.
we've had someone that was in Florida recently. You can probably tell the nice
Yeah.
tan they got.
We won't mention any names.
All right, have a good trip, safe trip. Okay, go ahead, Teresa.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We still are looking for lifeguards, so if there's anybody interested in being a lifeguard for the summer, please contact the village office or Brian Sprague at the pool. And other than that, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Charlie?
I have nothing.
Oh.
Whoa, hey. We like expensive to Charlie, that's all. We like. Dave, you have anything?
And I do for a change. This is a switch.
I'm rubbing off on
Let's
you.
let that balance.
Yeah.
The Roberta Austin and company were here at our last meeting, and about the beautification, the pride in the village, the cleaning up things, and just from an aesthetic standpoint. And I sat in as a village rep on that meeting, and the first one was held on Tuesday, May 20th. That was Roberta Austin, Dawn Northrup, Wendy Jackson, Sandy Sheridan, and I. We're looking for more members, or people to attend. I know members might be formalizing a little too much. Just quickly, it was the initial meeting, sort of an organizational, get our thoughts together kind of thing. They were looking at a spring cleanup, but I think they're gonna wait until the Delaware Street resurfacing gets done, because they'd only need to redo everything, because they're gonna be grinding up the street, and it's gonna be worse then than it is. It's gonna be worse before it gets better with the grinding process, so they'll be looking to do a spring cleanup probably sometime in August, once the dust settles, literally. Let's see, Roberta's gonna be contacting some 4-H groups, student groups, et cetera, to help out with some of the spring cleaning. And I'm drawing a blank, I didn't write, someone found out that more of the Delaware Street business buildings are owned by local individuals than we had thought, which is good and bad. We're blaming out of the area people, we're not keeping their buildings up, and apparently there's a larger percentage of the buildings downtown, the business buildings, owned by relatively local people, which was good and bad, depending on how you look at it. We're talking about policing our own neighborhood. There was, people take too little pride in their properties. It's obvious stuff. And one of the folks referred to it as a pride of place concept. Possibility of starting a farmer's market. The idea that we could use a grant writer at some point, because that's a skill unto itself. The next meeting is going to be Tuesday, June 10th, 6:30, here in the village offices. And we're looking at, trees being planted on Delaware are already underway, the planters are out. Possibly a radio interview to drum up some support and some interest. Approaching building owners and shopkeepers at some point down the road, once we get our act together and find out just who on the committee is going to be doing what. And they'll be coming up with it. Right now, we're calling it Walton Pride, but it might be, we're gonna come up with a name for it at the next meeting, hopefully. Something that'll stick and be easy to remember and carry some significance as to what the group is doing.
The Moffett Muppets.
Pardon?
The Moffett Muppets.
There you go.
Oh, John, I didn't know you were still here.
Hey, Dave, Jim Rice does grant writing, so I didn't know if you knew that.
Really?
Yeah, Jim is good at it.
Approach about that.
I know Jim.
He was doing it for the school for a while, so.
Okay.
Anything else, Dave?
No, that's it.
Okay, number 6 is mayor's report. Just got a couple things. I just want the people to be aware, the 4-H club has been very, very active, some of the groups with us that helped us out quite a lot. And I like to recognize them as they do it. First, we had the Barnyard Sprouts, who, if you go to Harvey Park, you'll see there's all new flowers in the bed down there. They did that about a week and a half ago. And then they went on Delaware Street, and some of the empty stores, they washed all the windows. So I sent them a letter for thank you, but I want the public to know what they did. Also, we have the This and That Club, 4-H Club. They went down to Austin Lincoln, and they painted all the benches that had graffiti on it. Painted them all, and brought them back, and I thought that was really good also. And this past weekend, last week, we had the Wild and Woolly group that came down and they put in 2 trees by the Tom's Tire Barn, the empty lot there in front, and one next to the Circle Antique, and put some flowers on it. So I think that the young kids here in our area are showing up the adults to show us the way to go, which is good. And I have another club that's gonna be putting more trees, and when they do that, then but I have like 4 or 5 clubs that are very active, helping us out, and I think they deserve a lot of credit. The next other thing I wanted to bring up that we can discuss. Senator Bonasek has sent us a letter saying that they'd like to give us another $100,000 in grant money to do a project. They also gave the town $100,000 to do a project. So we're thinking about working together on a project. The part of the project that we're thinking about doing is the old Reporter. It's now owned by the county, has about $28,000, I think, or $26,000 in back taxes. The town was thinking of trying to work out a deal for the building with the county and ripping down that building and having the county do it for us, which will save money. We would then make that a road going to Water Street, because we really don't have an official road going to Water Street. And at the same time, they would grade it down a little bit, so, because one of our problems when we have flooding, as everyone knows, the water has no escape from Water Street. If they grade it down, the water would have an escape when the river recedes. And then we're thinking that with our part, if the board goes along with it, we would continue from Water Street all the way down to the river, grade it all down on an angle so that it wouldn't just become like a pond by the Reporter. It would drain all the way down to the river. And then we could also regrade by our parking lot behind J.C. Penney's in that area, because there's a lot of water that stays in one area there. We would grade that whole area so on a slant, so it would also go down to the river. So that it would, like I said, it would kill 2 birds. We would have a road, an official road, and on that road would be a 2-lane highway, 1 lane each way. We'd be parking on both sides, which would help for parking on downtown, and a small green area also. And I think it would be a really, really good project.
Wouldn't the grading also complement well the riverbed work that they're talking about doing?
Yep,
I would think it'd fit right in with that.
Yeah, no, look, I'm on the flood commissioner, Steve knows about it, Bruce is on the flood commission. We're talking about doing that whole area down there, but if we do, Steve informed me that if we do less than 2 acres, we don't need any permitting. We can just go and do it, and it's 1.8 or 9 or something
Well,
like that.
just my rough estimate, and the map that I gave you,
Yeah.
that was actually a little bit over, but nothing's set in stone. I mean,
Yeah.
we can, so obviously, some of it's gonna be dictated by how much they actually need to do
Yeah,
to get the drainage in there, but
yeah.
I think it's a good project, and yes, it would tie right into, first of all, it takes a 1/6 of what we need to do down there, and this grant will pay for that, and then we don't have to, find that money elsewhere for the rest of it.
So basically, we'd be extending Liberty Street down to Water Street.
Yeah, and we can name it, I guess, whatever we want, Liberty Street Extension, Water Street, whatever we want to do. We can make it, T intersection down there, whatever, but I think it's,
Reporter Street.
Reporter Street, there you go.
Reporter Road, that's it.
Porter Lane, there you go.
But, ultimately, if we complete the project so that it's basically open drainage as opposed to a storm drain, you're gonna move much more water. And like we said, just grade it back to the river so that when the water gets on Delaware Street, it's got a way to get off.
And we could do Water Street itself, we were just thinking we could just slope down Water Street as it goes, instead of making a drain, just slope the road down gradually, and that could be all included in it too. I mean, I think it's a good, I spoke to Roger, right, Roger, you agree it's a good project too? Oh, come on, you can do it on tape, you can agree to something.
Roger, can you stand up?
But you thought it was a good project, right? You were brought up about sloping that.
Take a lot of problems that we do have already, and, hopefully put a fix to it.
It's Roger's fault, I didn't want to do it.
And it would create some, there's nothing set in stone, but we could create some green space and kind of
Yeah.
pretty up downtown a little bit.
We'd be able to put a gradual enough dip that it'd be okay to plow through without a problem.
see any issues with plowing like that. No. I mean, I don't know if any shot, I can't imagine anybody shot any elevations or find out
Yeah.
what we can or can't do yet, but.
It'll be a gradual thing, whatever. It won't be. So we're having a joint meeting with the town, June 18th here, and we'll discuss it further. But I would like to get an okay with it for right now, so I can send the response to Senator Bonasak's office, if that's.
I move that we send the letter to Bonasak's office, promoting the joint effort with the town.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. That's it for me. The next one, item 7, is the Methodist Church Street Festival. Didn't we already approve this? I thought we already, no?
We did the school one.
The school one, maybe that's the way to put it. Wow. The school we did this, okay, whatever. The Methodist Street, the First United Methodist of Walton, located at 101 North Street, is planning its ninth annual Community Street Festival to take place on Saturday, June 21st, 2014. The festival will begin at 10 a.m. and wrap up at approximately 5 p.m. We would, however, need to block the street off earlier for setup. We would like to block off the street for this purpose at 8 so that the vendors and street games can be safely set up. The event, in the case of rain, that will continue the festival indoors. As in the past 8 years, during the course of the day, we are planning a variety of musical acts, entertainment incorporating musicians' talent from throughout the Walton community. Tables will be set up to the side of the church and on the church lawn in front of, with the yard and sale items, crafts, free food, and drinks. In addition, plans are in the making for children's activities such as face painting, craft, bubble fun, balloons, chalk art, etc. In order to make this fun, safe, and memorable event for all, we are requesting that East Street be blocked off from the corner of Townsend Street north for the duration of the festival. You may recall, and we are very thankful that this request was approved by the village every year for the last 8 years. Please note that in the past, the request for the closure of North Street, but this year it is for East Street. Upon your approval, I will begin to take personal responsibility for informing the one neighbor that this would affect. In doing so, I will advise them of the intentions and assure them that we will provide access to entering and exit their driveways upon request if they do not wish to relocate their vehicles for the day. Pastor Dale Ashby will also make sure that the UP Church is agreeable to this closure. With your assistance for the 9th annual UMC Community Street Festival will be successful, as it has been for the last 8 years, in providing a day full of fun, laughter, and fellowship for the Walton community. Thank you very much for your consideration, Samaritan Laura L. Yambo.
I'm confused. Is she asking for both?
No.
No,
No, just East.
just East Street.
Want to make the motion?
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 9.
8?
Oh, 8, I'm sorry, oops, it was computer.
Yes,
Somebody that
see,
I'm
he was
getting
jumping right over your computer purchase.
computer purchases upgrades.
I'll make a motion, we skip number 8.
Okay, second. Okay,
Mike DiLorenzo has come in and helped us source some computers. And I'm requesting that we buy 3 new ones and upgrade 2. That'll give Roger a new one, Steve a new one, and us a new one on the counter. The 2 that we're upgrading is Misty's and the one that's on John's desk. The mayor's is getting thrown away and he's going to be using the one that's on John's desk. Also, those were budgeted in our budget numbers, so I'm just going to need approval for those. But also, there's a request, I believe, for one new,
for the chief.
yep, one new desktop for the police department and to upgrade one of the other ones. And those weren't budgeted, so.
How much
Okay.
is the amount that is not budgeted?
The 185 and 4, you're getting a desktop or a laptop, do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's really
The other
computer
one,
illiterate.
Yeah, it's about, it'd be like 460 or less.
460 LS for the two computers?
For the one computer,
Okay.
and then the upgrade is
180.
185.
Okay.
And where would that money be coming from if it's not in, if we haven't budgeted for
That's
it?
up to you guys to tell me where you want me to take it from.
Let me ask the chief, can any of the step money or any of that be used for this? No. Well, I don't know where it comes from.
So I don't know if they can conserve on something else. I don't know, but we didn't budget anything for equipment for the police.
What's the issue with the two computers that weren't budgeted for, Jody?
Well, when you guys were looking at the
We didn't.
police, you didn't put anything in equipment this year.
No, I mean, what's the problem with the computers themselves?
What?
Windows XP.
Yeah, there-
There's no
according to
backup.
Mike,
No backup.
He said one of them cannot be upgraded at all, and they said the other one can.
I suspect the difference, and correct me if I'm wrong, but now you have a clerk that's computer literate and is...
But also, if you have the old XP, you're vulnerable to all sorts of, I mean, Windows doesn't, or what Microsoft, whatever, doesn't support it anymore. I mean, almost shouldn't be using it. I mean, where will we get the money from? I mean, if that's the computer they have, almost like, I mean, not to overreact, but I don't think they should be using it from what I've heard about, becoming
Yeah.
vulnerable, but.
So
Well,
the
you
issue
become-
really isn't whether or not, it's just where's the money gonna come
Yeah.
from for it?
Up there for your rating parking tickets, so get out of that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're giving you a ticket so we can get a computer, right? That'll go over big. But we can only,
I did the math right, $645.
yeah. Are you waiting for me to say something?
I'm
Is that
waiting for
what
somebody
that-
to tell me where it's gonna come from.
Well, there's only, I mean, we don't only have so much in the budget form. I mean, general fund?
Yeah, but.
But, I know,
I
but.
need to know where.
Well, this is something that couldn't come out of the three budgets, couldn't it?
A little, yes.
Yes, okay.
We can take part of it out of, I think John Moffat's salary. I'll put it down on the side there. No.
If you call Jim, I'll do that for you.
John Moffett Memorial.
Jody, do you have a recommendation as to what line item to take it out of?
I don't know. We budgeted pretty close.
We did.
And I know there's some other things going on, so I'm,
Has any additional tax money come in from the,
we had a couple people come in Thursday and Friday last month,
Okay.
yeah, last week, to pay some of the back taxes.
okay, so that's something in the general fund that we did not anticipate, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so,
But
We
that
have the
was
potential
last
for
week.
some other
That was
money.
that was
last budget.
last year.
Last year's budget, yes.
But aren't we anticipating other monies coming in?
We can hope that there's gonna be some
A
more
check or
coming in
two.
before we actually do foreclosures.
But aren't there accounts due us that we're starting to get money from?
Yes, that's what we were just talking about. We can just say general fund. It's 600 and, well,
45?
645, but it's gonna be from, we can split it up from
Water and
water
sewer.
fund and sewer and, can't we?
A
Don't
little
we use
bit.
a little bit of each? Okay.
So
Then with that, I'll make a motion that we approve the computer purchases, including the police upgrade and new purchase.
Okay.
I will second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Does that mean I need to start riding a bike?
Yeah. We gave you the computer, but we took the car away.
I want no laughing.
You got it.
You've never seen bubble gum and spandex.
Okay. Number 9,
Okay,
Go ahead.
I need approval to pay for the down payment for the vacuum truck. And the cost is $50,000, and Bonasec's office will be reimbursing us for that.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I have a question first. The invoice I see is for
That
31.
was, right, that was the original amount, but with Bonasec giving us the $50,000, in order to get reimbursed for that, we're gonna need to show that we paid for that, so. And it will decrease the
balance.
next couple of years'
Mhm.
payments, so.
Hopefully we can get the same thing
So
next
this
year.
is a good thing.
And
Instead
I
of us-
do-
Well, I know it's a good thing. I just don't understand why the
So-
invoice says 31,000.
I have a corrected one now, but I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
at the
so-
time
okay, so-
that I sent that to you guys.
Okay, that's, so it's 50,000.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, that's,
Do we have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
aye.
Okay. Anything else?
We did get a letter, today about the duck,
4-H Duck Club.
the duck, yeah, your duck race.
Correct.
And I'm trying to find,
Oh, the one by Breakies, they always let up.
yeah,
Jody?
there you go. So we need to approve the
All
duck.
right, the 12th annual 4-H duck race. The 4-H club's been so good, we can't say no now, right? The Cornell Cooperative Extension of Delaware County would like to request permission to hold the 12th annual 4-H duck race on Saturday, July 12th, in the village of Walton. We plan to hold the 4-H duck race in Third Brook. Ducks will float from Ogden Street Bridge to Robinson Brothers Auction Barn. Volunteers will be in the brook to retrieve any stuck ducks, I'll say that 10 times, along the way and at the race conclusion. A certificate of insurance is enclosed for our insurance provider, PW Wood Agency in Ithaca, the insurance carrier for all the Cornell Cooperative Extensions of New York State. Volunteers from throughout the county and 4-H clubs will be selling the adopted ducks to raise money to help support Delaware County 4-H programs. Please contact us with any concerns. Thank you, John T. Hammond. So we need a motion for that?
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Is that it? Yeah, I know. that. You
Yeah,
gotta
the
go.
abstracts I didn't get on the agenda, so
Yep.
if we could do those.
The abstracts, you've all had a chance to take a look at them, most of you, I think. You look them on the plane. But if there's no questions, I need a motion to approve the abstracts.
I'll make a motion that we approve them as presented.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. One other thing, as probably everybody in Walton knows, there is a move to put all the mental health facilities together and make one building. They had to submit bids by May 30th. They are going to the mental health facility next to the hospital. You've got the facility in the Emporium, and there's another facility in Hamden. They want to join all three of them to put them in one location. The county had in the reporter asking for bids to be in from anywhere within the county. Two people from Walton have put in bids. Bob Vitti put it in for up on West Street where he is, and John McIntyre, who owns Sheffield Estates, and his builders, they put in a bid to build a brand-new facility for them, that they could put all three locations right over there. It's out of the floodplain. However, there's other people in the county that are bidding on this also. What we discussed before to do would be, we'd like to send a letter to every supervisor in the county, asking them to think hard when they make the approval on where they're gonna send this place, that it's been in Walton. We would really like it to stay here. Many of the workers that work there live here in Walton, and most of the patients that go there also live here in Walton. So it only makes sense that it would stay here. But, so we're gonna send a letter, and
And we also have the hospital here,
Yeah.
so that's another issue.
and part of the whole thing was, when you had this mental facility, was that you had a hospital And you had a police force that was working 24 hours, that in case there's any issues, and we have that. It's a couple blocks away, we have the hospital, and the police are here all the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So we're hoping that with that letter, they would agree to keep it here in Walton.
Both of them are right close to the fire station, less than a mile away from the hospital, the fire station, the emergency squad, the police department. We're one of only 2 villages in the county that has a 24-hour police service. We're at the intersection of 2 major state highways. 2 of the 3 portions of the mental health clinic are right here in Walton. So it would be the least impact on the staff of the mental health facilities here and the clients that it's served. We also have the transportation, local taxi company here in Walton that can take those people that can't walk to the clinic or drive to the clinic. They have that. So yes, we're certainly prejudiced, as I'm sure all the other communities that may be bidding, but I think Walton is ideal, and as we've talked on the board, we really need to stay here. It could cost us up to 50 jobs if we lose the mental health clinic.
Is that a tax exempt entity?
Yes. So we're all in agreement to sign the letter and to send it in to the supervisors to ask them to, I mean, it's a friendly letter, just saying that here's what we like, why we want them to stay here. Would you please consider it strongly when you make your voting? That's all. It's not anything that we're looking to argue or anything. We're just saying it really belongs here. This is where it's been all this time, and it should stay here.
And anybody's free to write to their supervisor and ask them to vote in favor of staying here in Walton. That would be Bruce Dolph.
Yeah. Okay, I have nothing else unless anyone else has anything else to bring up.
We have to go into executive session?
Yep, we have to go into executive session. We're going to be talking Teamsters contract.
I make the motion that we go into executive session.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming.